Blender folks, welcome and welcome back. I'm Pxy-VERSE and this is The Forge, the live streaming I've been doing for more than a month straight to this day, and not doing the weekends too much, but in the days of the week. And I've been doing a list of tasks exactly for mount rigging on this main character of mine, OC character, original character Dorothy, for a sci-fi 3D animation project. And yes, so the mount rigging, I'm using a setup. As you see, it's highly expressive. This I'm using let's reset here. So yeah, there's crazy bones here, we don't need all that. So this is a complex rig that I'm using in combining, yeah, there's still some things to fix, but this is a rig that uses, oh, there are some bones that I guess didn't reset, apparently. So maybe I should show all, reset everything. There we go. Just make sure we are in here. All right, there's no keyframe, so okay, reset, and let's start to get a mount here. I don't know, just something weird in the, yeah, something this is not normal. Something is happening here that I'm not sure what. Yeah, this, oh yes, okay, so this is of course this is not normal. This is the some difference that happened between these two meshes, I guess. Let's try. So I get this mesh and the body. If I compare them, we see, yeah, because I've made change to the, so what I was saying, let's start this soundtrack here. I'll have some more interesting things here. So basically I'm nearly completing this this rig setup, which is a combination of rig features. In one of them, the Universal Sonic Melt rig, that is a tutorial documentation you can find online, download some files and see it for yourself. But here I'm implementing the Universal Sonic Melt rig in here with some slight differences, variations, but the main principles I'm using, I'm not gonna re-explain them here, but it's very important. I've been talking about that all the time on later on all these sessions of the stream. Then and I have implemented additional stuff, and that was sort of quite experimental to do. So nowadays I have a new approach to designing 3D stuff, and I'm going to something like super low poly art style for everything that I'll do in Blender. So my CG art approach is switching. I always liked low poly, stylistic, elegant, economical stuff already from 2D, right? But even it's sort of contradictory what I'm saying, because it's not that I like super simplified stuff. Actually, it's somewhere in between. So and that for the 3D stylistic adaptation, now that I'm willing to do something more radical, because I was never a 3D artist in the past. This is something from the past 1 decade maybe, but for 10 years I just mainly did very basic modeling. I didn't know about rigging, shading, nearly anything I knew about, and even my modeling skills were very, very simple. I didn't even knew the concept about mesh topology. So but I always loved the mesh topology, but I had no idea how to configure them properly. So the theory or some concepts that are important for rigging, for example, right? Anyways, and then for the past maybe 4 years, 3 years is there where I've started specializing in Blender and 3D art. And so, alright, so I need to fix this to be able to continue working here. So you see this this is happening because this bone here, this is for the universal sonic mount rig. It has if anyone of you guys know what is this about, I don't know why I'm getting this view. Okay, I'm gonna save here. Constraint list. I did something to the outliner that now it shows this it was never here before. So this is constraint list. No. Okay, so what is I really have to take a look on that, because this is we are doing rigging, right? Blender constraint list. What is this? It's like Blender had updated in some way. Yeah, so apparently I can't find it. Some sort of option I did here. What is this? Let's apply. Oh, this might be some sort of add-on. Yeah, more likely some add-on that but now I have no idea what could it be. Some add-on that maybe I have installed. Is there some shape keys keeper, screencast, redify, easy weights, bone manager? No. Yeah, I might have installed something lately, but in this version maybe. Mesh check. Hello. Okay, so perhaps I can find it in my utility add-ons. Maybe shape keys keeper. What's the last one? Rig creator. Rig creator. Yes. Yeah, it seems to be. So did I install in here? Rig creator. Yes. So I just tested. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it was. Oh, but it now deleted all my bone constraints. I think this is not good. Alright, so certainly this is not good stuff. So maybe my Blender got corrupted now? No, here we go. Okay, just sometimes I've heard it is important. So, okay, we fixed. So this was an add-on that I've installed last time. So I need to close and reopen Blender entirely to have something work like that. Work also for the for this toggle system console if you want to update and see clearly if there's anything wrong. So okay, now I'm more comfortable. This is what I prefer here. Let's save here as a new file. I'll call this Blender 29 because today is 29 July here. Then CB, yeah, mount rigging final retakes, that's fine for me. Then alright, so in order to sorry folks, so what I was doing here, I was going to show that this bone, you see, it is just because of this shrink wrap bone constraint on this bone, which is some sort of very important mouth position, master mouth position for me. So basically it allows to do that. I have another controller here which brings other bones together, so like basically it brings, what does it bring? Oh yeah, it moves some other bones there for the muzzle, so it's more global, this thing, and this is more localized. So that yeah, in principle, if we want to do a more subtle motion of the mouth, we do that, and if we want to make something more radical, that will move the tip of the nose, and so this is something that I've implemented myself because I found that it was a problem that I've just found a solution for this recently. So that's an interesting input. I'll share with the author Kamal of the Universal Sonic Foundry. I have all my research here, mine on his rig. Alright folks, so what I need to do here is first to fix this mesh here. It takes some... yeah, it's a little annoying the way I have here, because ideally I would like to... let's make a test here folks. So first let me get rid of some... no, not mouth, but eyes. Alright, let's get rid of those things. And I want to see behind the face here, or actually, yeah. So I want to see if I can get, so this includes the tongue, the top and bottom arcade. They don't need to be on the same mesh, but here for simplicity that I've decided to be like that. Oh, alright, so the fact is that this mesh here, it really doesn't need to go that far away. I can simplify this thing, I guess, except for here. It is dangerous here, so you see that I have a seam here. This is just for marking the limits. I think so. I can probably delete all that. Isn't there a shortcut for selected linked? Shift L, I guess. No, what is Shift L? Control L. Delimit. Select Alt L. No, Shift. Alright, let's try this. L. We'll select Shift L. Opens the menu. Deselect. Oh, okay. So L and Shift L. I didn't know about the Shift L. Usually I do Alt L. Alright. Oh, of course, because Shift L does this deselect. Okay, so it enables that. So, but I like to instantly tag one of those things. Interesting. Linked flat faces. Okay, so you have Control L, right? So if I get a Control L, nothing happens. Let's try and let's use faces. Control L. I have no idea what that Control L does, but doesn't matter. Let's return. So the problem of having all these things is that it's maybe it's useless. Now that I fixed many of these deforms, let's test, right? So basically, yes, it will not deform correctly because I have to fix this. Basically, this mesh, I'll take this part except for the lips, and I have a vertex group for that, and then I duplicate that, separate and join that duplicated mesh into that, and then substitute right away all this, but then have to fix the waves. I need to delete some waves. Maybe I should clean all waves. Yeah, actually that might be the good idea. The mesh may come with the waves, but confusing, right? Because the mesh will be deleted, so the vertex groups maybe will become irrelevant. So here, these waves, right? I probably need to, except for the head, so I can probably delete all the rest. I need to update, right? So I need to remember which are them, right? It's these two profile, then all the rest. Oh, another profile here. No? Yeah, so what's happening? Oh, the D. Okay, they need a D. So let's go here, and then these profile muzzle bones, they are deformed bones, so they need to be armature, where the deformed muzzle. So basically we have this one, D profile, D. Oh, those ones were old vertex groups, I guess. Profile muzzle top, profile muzzle bones. Yeah, does this thing have? No, these are deprecated. Now that I know how to work with this bone, these might even work at this point, but these are deprecated, so if I do that experimentally, I'll do that later. So that means that here, if I get profile, yeah, there are some rogue waves here, they are useless. I can delete this, right? They were being duplicated uselessly. So the idea is that it will be much simpler. Yeah, okay, so what I need to test here is the following, folks. I want to simplify this rig. Let's get the armature, click arcades. We'll do very simple thing here. Yeah, let's pick that. All right. I'm going to also get the mouth. I just want for the mouth, maybe. Yeah, let's pick let's leave everything here and we can understand what's going on. So here with the control mouth, and so you'll see what will happen. As I push this bone here, we get the arcades which deform because of these bones. And I can tweak them individually if I want, but in principle it is automated by this. So it's like a stretch and squasher that will, but this is not the tweak lips. So the tweak arcades is lips plus arcades. You'll see here what happens. And so I'm stretching the lips and the arcades which are behind. Maybe we will see better if I. Yeah, so we can see that the arcades there, the mesh of the arcades are also stretching. Alright, of course this thing is in the way, the ghost mesh there, but yeah, you can see what is happening. And I can move the lips independently, and I can also move the arcades. I need better custom shapes, right? I can also move the arcades independently. The problem, this is why I have these bones made, they create these bones. They have a shrink wrap bone constraint, one in the end of the sequence of bone constraints, whichever bone constraint they have. They respond, these bones, they respond, these tweak bones, they respond. It's not a bendy bone spline, this is just a single bone here that deforms. So this is the deformed bones of the top arcade left side, right? And the idea is not to tweak them only when necessary. This is the main, right? We can also rotate, but the idea is that I can so this, they follow this bone in some proportion, and if I get the tweak lips, the lips move independently. So this is a bit of a headache to make, to rig, but I found a solution. Like there are many stuff that here are kind of quite tricky and original, but I'll try to show how this works. Maybe that will make a great tutorial one day. Not so far from now, but I have another rig solution for mouth which uses geometry node and boolean. So basically, instead of having the universal sum, it's much simpler to get the because it doesn't rely necessarily on this kind of highly deformation and shrink wrapping mesh. Yes, it relies on other stuff, but we get rid of many complications, like the lips become separated mesh, and it must be the biggest challenge. Yeah, wave painting is always the biggest challenge, but in those things. But in principle, one of the biggest challenge technically is to have these external lips. Is not the case here, folks. I'm just theoretically explaining, conceptually explaining. They need to be glued on top of a face that is exactly like this, actually, because it doesn't have a mouth hole. So the hole is generated by the hole is another object that mimics the shape of the mouth. So there are tutorials about that, but I've built on top of that the volumed lips with anatomy. So lips just like this, and the big challenge is how to get those lips be glued onto the face. So we can achieve this with a join. Well, there are many ways to achieve this, but what I'm looking for, and seems to be working so far, is on top of the boolean that generates the hole of the mouth hole, there will be also the deforms of the lip, which will not be the deforms of the muzzle, the lower face, right? So we don't need this thing on that rig, I guess. We don't need a ghost muzzle mesh. Maybe we need for other things, for shrink wrapping bones, maybe, yeah. Maybe they're still useful, so this is not a... this mesh can have multiple utilities, not only for the universal sonic mouth rig. So, and then the glue can be done with geometry nodes with the join node. It joins the geometries involved, and I'm not sure if it is working perfectly. I've tested, it seems to be, if it fakes a good gluing connection between meshes, but I'm skeptical, so I need more experience in that to tell if that really is a good solution in the end. But for the shapes of the lip, and especially for making the mouth travel and making expression of the lips everywhere on the face, like I'm doing here with the universal sonic mouth rig, it seems to be very accurate, and it's much less painful, because, right, although yes, the idea, the arcades thing, we might have to struggle with similar setups, right? This is sort of, can be quite complicated if we want to achieve good expression. The anatomy of the lips, of course, this must be, it's a struggle, right? and of course the deforms of the lips even. But okay, so the idea here, folks, I need to have to see if I'm having intersections. In principle, all that mesh behind seems to be quite useless, of the ghost here, because this mesh will never go that far, right? There's I did that on when the rig was very bad. However, on the top here, maybe there are some posing where we might want to have something where this might still, yeah, at least this part, you see. Yeah, if we didn't have this shrink wrapping, then what would happen eventually is that, let's turn this off. Yeah, you'll see that would possibly happen. We can make a test here, a better test. Let's try to push so we can have some, yeah, there. So this is not very interesting. We can tweak that, right? So these things need to shrink wrap to something. I could have instead the whole mesh shrink wrap. That's true, we can test that. But I suspect that would not be very controllable as we have the bones here. So instead, let's do something like this. I'm going to, yeah, because actually the mesh is controlled by the bones, right? So they have, so I'm leaving this shrink wrap. Yeah, let's turn off the shrink wraps of everything. Color, let's save. Let's turn this off, then select this color, turn this off with Alt. Here too, it's turned, okay, already turned off. All right, this was already turned off. Yeah, okay, so all the tweak of the arcades were turned off. So now I'm going to go instead do something. Also, a cool thing is that we can, well, we could do this with the shrink wrap modifier too, but I think this is more accurate. So the way I did with the bones, because we can tweak individually. Oh, I want a shrink wrap here with this distance, so this will maintain a certain distance from the ghost muzzle. This will maintain another distance, it's bigger, slightly bigger, and this one is lower value. Okay, so, and these ones, maybe these were, yeah, those are different values. Okay, so here I can have what I can have. I can, yes, I want this to make a shrink wrap. So yeah, it subdivides. No, let's shrink wrap before. So this is deform, shrink wrap modifier. Let's put it here and let's get it inside of the muzzle, but we want it protected from a certain distance, right? So the problem, you see, is that this will disrupt the mesh. It doesn't deform very well as we do it. You see what the effect? So this is why it works. Yes, it protects, but you see the teeth there, the teeth, it's not very. So let's say I give a value like that. So this probably would prevent most crazy deforms to happen. Let's also turn this on, the mirror modifier. Let's see, I can also hide this. Let's make some tests. You see, I don't have the shrink wraps there. Yeah, the deforms are not very great here, but yeah, so yeah, so you see, it's not super. Yeah, this is the lips, or is the top arcade? Well, What's happening there? Okay, so this is the shrink wrap of the, yeah. As you can see, this thing doesn't seem to be very good, right? So it really gets wreak havoked, right? Because of course I could wave paint, but I think this is just too painful to work with. So however, if I get back to the original ideas and I turn this on and I turn these on, we see the mesh, the bones, of course, they got sort of displaced sometimes, they tremble depending on what the posing, but it's much more stable. And so I think that is the best approach to this. Let's load here, folks, and just to avoid any stupid complications. So next, yes, so I believe there's no reason now for me to be too much preoccupied about problems that will be originating from this is because of the lack of mirror maybe, but yeah, because of the lower area and yeah, and the back area. So to simplify, I think I'm just going to pick all this mesh here and let's get it, let's say goodbye to this. Yeah, maybe we'd like a bit more there, but then I can just extrude, so I'm gonna just delete that. And so that was just too annoying to make, so let's go back here. Let's yeah, delete all these vertex groups. Let's go back on the rest position here. We get here, so I have a complete control of the, okay, apparently for here I need to, oh, this thing, alright, so I didn't, my mistake, this, I need to go back here, there are still, so batch delete all unlocked group, this is easy waves, right, easy waves add-on. Then we got here, yes, so I need this, I need to bring these waves to this mesh, so I don't need the armature here, so the body mesh to this thing, then, oh yes, then what about this bone here? Let's see. Well, this mesh seems to be okay. If it is working, it is. If that was working, then it was working. But what about some? Yeah, okay, there's no waves there, so this is normal to get the face deformed like that, so never mind, let's go back here. So I need to transfer there, so wave paint mode, then we get here. What I'm going, yeah, so this must be the same head, so I don't care, it will probably be substituted, so set, transfer waves. Then vertex, yes, nearest face interpolated by name and replace, yes. So here the painful thing, okay, we keep the head here. I want to delete everything. Yeah, instead I'm going to just lock what I want, because here we cannot sustain the lips once. So I just need, so there's the jaw. Yeah, let's lock all the jaw. There is the profile, so there's just one, and I think that's it. Head, jaws, profile. Anything else? Oh yes, there is the cheekbone. There we go. Now we delete here, and we batch delete all unlocked groups. Now this mesh has done nothing, because actually okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, there are 7. So let's delete. Yeah, delete all groups, because actually I made a mistake. I forgot to. I can delete this mesh, it's fine. Go back here. So let's look for the object still exists, or the ghost muzzle. So would that be? No, it's not this one. Muzzle, no lips. Yeah, so I think it might be this one. Yes, most likely this one. So this is the one that I was using. So Shift D, P, selection, get back here. Then I pick that extra mesh, join into this, Control J. Now that mesh immediately turns into that, and now I need to I guess it got back the wave painting. Batch delete, unlock it. Now let's delete all thing, just because I'm not sure and I want to clean up that. So here, let's do it again. Select the body, select this, then waves, transfer waves, then all layers, all that, replace, all fine, nearest space interpolated, and then here let's look for the head, not this one, the deform head, if there is any deformed head somewhere here. Then I want the profile, yes, only one, there are 7, then jaw, there are 4, then cheek bone, never forget this, sort by, no, batch delete, unlocked. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, there we go. So you have all this stuff here. This is renewed. So now when I go back to the rest pose and enable pose position, now you see that, well, the mesh is trembling. Yeah, so how this is possible? Oh, of course, there's a hole in the yeah, okay, so there is a hole in the, I forgot to close that hole, so it's just one yeah, so that seems to be it. Now it's still being troubled, so basically yes, that changed the mesh, right? That changed, so I need to replace this apparently, which is can be a little problematic. Sorry, I need to take off an alarm clock. Alright, so the problem is, if I apply the position here of just this bone, it will solve the problem, but it will move a lot of bones But at least, no, I haven't fixed. Yeah, I haven't fixed because it's still moving, right? So okay, let's make a test here and see what happens, right? So it will be better here if I don't show the shapes, so you can see exactly what is moving. So yeah, the changing of this bone moves everything else, because you see all it moves, right? These ones don't move, but all the rest move. So I don't have a perfect solution for this. It's not the body that is affecting that. It's really the... So this is happening because this bone, with its shrink wrap bone constraint, the mesh has changed, the original mesh, right? Yeah, no, this one. No, there's more things happening there. Okay, I cannot apply, I think it will rotate everything, but let's try. Yeah, so I'm going to save here. Actually, this bone is parented there, right? Yes, apparently yes. So exactly. So if I apply this one, that should be sufficient. No, it's this one, because this one has got the shrink wrap. So and then I fix this one. So let's see if that will not ruin the... So pose mode, yes, armature. Otherwise, the idea would be to find that position, and parent the things, and get all the bones that are connected to it in this particular way, right? I think these ones, they need to move in sync. So I would need to pose them on edit mode, right? To position them from edit mode so they won't affect anything else, right? Unless I had some bone constraint, I get it's not the case, like limit distance is not the case. Okay, let's try this. Where is this? Why I don't remember the name of... Apply, bone roll, snap, mirror, transform. Oh no, this is okay. This is pose mode. Sorry, folks. So here, apply, selected as rest pose. All right. So as you can see, no more trembling, and this seems to have fixed the... Okay, we'll see that better as I hide some whatever there is. No, there's still a problem there. That is happening, a terrible problem there, so that didn't solve that particular thing. But it's not over. I need to... Oh, the armature got lost. Let's pick it back. Maybe it's because this bone now, let's have smoothed. No. So how that happens? This is not supposed to happen. Oh, wave painting maybe. Yeah, so I have changed the these bones are not responsible for those things, right? They are moved the arcade, so there's nothing to do about them. Okay, these ones are stopped, so it's not this one, so it's the twig lips. So the twig lips, they are yeah, so maybe what happened here, are those twig lips suffering some sort of shrink wrapping? Let's try. Oh yes, so but this doesn't solve anything anyway, so I need to reposition this bone. So this is another complication that I've made. It's cool, but it's a cool trick, is the warping effect. So I have the deformed lips, and what happens is the following, folks. We have these are the deformed bones. There are two for the side, and these are the ones in this region, right? And these are twig lips, and this is the center. So these deformed bones, depth warp, they will warp into their respective twig bones. So they are parent to their respective twig bones, and they are also bone constraint to it. So this one, for example, is, so this is the setting, pose spaces, because then scaling the armature will stop, will not disrupt the rig inside. So instead of warp space, pose space, so they warp exactly to the position of that. Even though they are parented from a distance, they immediately warp that when you go on pose mode, from edit mode to pose mode. So here, the problem, yeah, so the idea of doing that, this warp trick, is that we can define our rest pose, whatever rest pose. So you can have a rest pose for the deformed rig, which might be better on I don't know, an A pose, just to simplify, an X pose, whatever you want. That for the deform rig, it's better for the skinning algorithm, the deforms. And then but you have a T pose for the rest pose, and so you use this system of warp. So this bone will, so map bone, the twig bone is a warp, the twig I can control, and there we go. So but now what's happening is that I need to improve. I need to reposition, remake my rest position in a better, in a more correct way. So maybe these bones can be closer to the center. Yeah, so I'll just make, yeah, let's make some perhaps, yeah, so I'm going to glue this on the, oh yes, I need actually to, this is a bit complicated, let's use the let's use a trick here, interesting trick, folks. I'm going to record here in a special way. Look at the star is on. So let's make this warp thing. So I'm going to snap. Let's hide the arcades. Yeah, like this. No, sorry. Just the arcades. So this bone, because it is shrink wrapped, yeah, they are shrink wrapped to that. It's like I don't need the snapping, right? It will just, so I can pose it anywhere there, that will do. And it's not rotating, right? It is, because the shrink wrapping doesn't tell it to rotate, to align with normal, for example. So I don't want that, because that will cause wreak havoc in the lips, right? Because there's a deformed bone here. So I'm going to get this bone to actually enable the X mirror there, this stuff, right? X-axis mirror. Let's try to get a cool rest pose here. So I'm snapping. I could do, yeah, actually, I don't need to use these bones. I could. So, but okay. Anyways, I would use it if I was snapping from here, right? But it's not the case, so it was not necessary. We don't. But since we have this, that will be okay. So maybe I want these bones to be closer here, same as this one, and then this one, yeah, because they move both corners. So I'll just try to find a proper. I can always hide, guess. Yeah, that's good. Alright, so this is nearly fine. If I get too close, start to have some bad shapes there. This is nearly good. What if I get... Yeah, there's the shape there, that's fine. Maybe a little lower this one. Not gonna move these ones because they are these bones, their respective deformed bone, are not warping. So this is a oh no, they are warping, so I can even pose this one if I wanted, but I don't want. That's not. So here I cannot pose. Yeah, so here the idea is if I had some, I need then to apply. There's a rest pose, right? Oh no, I cannot do that. So actually what I can do is, yeah, either I unparent and disable them, which will be too much of our work to do that, or I just get this. Hopefully their heads are here exactly. So I want to get this bone and move to the cursor. Do the same here from. So this is edit mode, right? So and is this correct? I think I did something wrong, folks. Okay, let's do it again. So this is edit mode and this is pose mode. So pose mode, I want that. And I want this to go here on edit mode. Oh, but then it goes there. So why this is happening? Oh, because of course this is pose mode. I need to reset. There we go. So here, let's do it again. This is the new position, and then I get here on edit mode, yes, to reach there. Then go back here and then I reset. Alright. So the deformed bones, they remain where they were. But I can still change that. That can be beneficial slightly. But then here is more about the maybe wave painting or something that I need to do here. Maybe tackling the armature, I don't know. But even this, yeah, let's save here. And I just need to, yeah, this is certainly a bad position. Pose vectors mode, right? So let's see, where would we like to have this? Oh, actually it's moving differently, so let's move them both together. I seriously need to check here the, maybe, I don't know, stick. Never used this, but in this particular case, let's see the best we can get. Yeah, so maybe this. Yeah, so these artifacts here I could never solve in very well, so that seems to be a fine position. So let's go back to debone. Then I want this position here, right? Then I get this and this moved there, and then reset. And there we go. So this, I'm gonna save. Let's hide this. Let's also turn on the mirror modifier, and as you can see, the lips here, well, we don't see very well. Let's turn off these deforms. Yeah, those lips. Let's, so see, you have, yeah, more or less adequate lips here. Then if I try to pose, yeah, we still got some artifacts. Yeah, it's never clear, but let's get all the character to show here, features, so it's good to check on the expression. Let's see the mouth, and yeah, let's test some features here, upper jaw, whatever, and yeah, okay, so we can get also, let's enable the shapes, which I haven't done a lot of them, right? And I always get lazy when it comes to those ones. Why it is lagging so much? Maybe it's because of the, yeah, it's because of the shading, and maybe this bone is floating strangely. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, something weird about the bone there. This is not normal, folks. But otherwise the rest seems to be fine. Oh, there, of course. I was using the mirror, I guess. Yes, it was something about some interaction there that I'm not sure why, because this bone doesn't have an opposite side. So you can see we have pretty good possibilities now. This. And overall, even these very difficult shapes here are fine. So I was, this certainly can be improved for some more radical expression for this character, but this is actually quite acceptable. And I think I will complete. Yeah, then there will be some fixes there for the lower jaw, maybe. Yeah, the gums there appearing. way that is doesn't on the bottom, that is not looking very nice. I think that I have to manually keep manipulating, but overall the expressions are quite good. Yeah, so yes folks, so I think, okay, let's turn off the star now before I forget. Basically, lip skinning for very small mouth expressions. Yeah, it's not completely done, but yeah, I'm done with that. So, an intersection test arcade's mouth interior. I didn't see intersections going on, right, folks? On many poses that I was attempting, and so that means that I think there is nothing more to care about this. Just let's make sure that, yeah, we don't have the shrink wrap modifier here, so it's just about the arcades, quick arcades, which have got their own shrink wrap bone constraints that of course we can tweak. We can change and adapt, but I think that I'm using a setup that I have found that is good enough. It hasn't been failing me, so basically the front ones, they have a lesser value, 0.01, so shrink wrap inside, so this cannot move too much outside, but we can still pull the lip, though not the arcade. This might be limiting in some cases, so if I turn this off, of course I'd have to, yeah, so I'm not sure here. So for very high expressive things, that this is not so good actually, but anyways, and then for this one, yeah, so this has so these ones have 0.3 and this one has 0.3. all right, and this one has 0.1. all right, this one has 0.1, this one, so this is the master, is the parent, so it's like, it's more for posing. It won't, that's why it won't really affect the others from the parenting, right? But these ones, 0.3, 0.6, so apparently there were a lot of intersections with this one, with the face, with the muzzle, so that's why it needed a bigger value. But I don't see anything ruining my rig, so even though I've simplified by you see, by deleting everything that is like below and behind, and so there might happen some intersections here, but so far it seems to be seamless. So this is maybe just good enough for most animations, if provided we are careful enough. So I think this is done. So finally, folks, I think I've reached the point where the last thing here, I'm done with this because I'm eager to start my new, you see the separation here, from this down. I'm going to start working on the same character, Dorothy, but on a low poly version. That I took her base mesh, her mesh, her whatever, everything, and I start to I'll show you what I have right now in a moment, and then I re-implement all the armature, all the rig, but with some changes. Yeah, basically I have to re-rig the character, but I'll basically use the same principles, the same armature. The mount rig will be different though, because I will be using the other technique. So I did all that for nothing? No, I've learned a lot with this. And actually it was with what led me to the Boolean, the geometry node solution, that I'm not 100% sure that it will be enough for my needs, but so far it hasn't frustrated my ideas, and so I can use both solutions, but this is very yeah, some ideas here I'll use, like the synchronous deforms of the arcades, right? And also some tricks like the more likely, yes, the wave painting of the lips, some understanding right here of the rigging, of the skinning. Maybe not the warp system, because now the mount on the different rig that I have, the geometry nose, the Boolean thing, the lips don't need necessarily to start like this. By the way, just so that you know, this is the real mesh of the lips. It's like in the Universal Sonic Mount rig, except that for me the lips go outside, like in these two face rings. And then I have an atomic shape key, an atomic lips, which generate this mesh which bypasses the skinning. I see I have some things that I could improve here, yeah, but that's okay. Let's just make some tiny adjustments here on directly the anatomic lips, right? This won't change anything, I guess. So here, so you see, so that's cool, because I proved to myself that it is possible, that it was possible in the end. I'm leaving this one, yeah, on this selection. Oh, I must be careful about that. Yeah, because if I start to edit the mesh of the body, for whichever reason, I'll be, yeah, so this can be dangerous actually. Now I'll have to then replace the modifications to the bases only for the selected mesh with these. Yeah, so this is annoying. So for now, let's leave all locked just in case. Probably I made some mistake there. But let's turn it on and leave it locked and use here. So here, so it is possible to rig cartoon cars like that in Blender, and implementing the Universal Sonic Now rig and more stuff to the Universal Now rig if you want even more complexity. And more cool features, folks. So here I'm going to show you. Yeah, so there's one last thing that I do. Next time, so tomorrow, I will be willing to finally start drawing some. Maybe I come already with some sketches, right? I'll make a model sheet basically of 2D cartoony melt expressions. I have a list of them and a bunch of them draw. Maybe a sheet of paper and draw on the side. Maybe I don't know. Maybe some planes with texture, and then I start to try to reproduce them and save those assets. Even though it's unlikely I'm gonna use that, so there is, at least for the project the way I'm doing right now. This version of the character is for me this is high poly. So maybe I should just skip that, because this is for myself. Sorry if any one of you guys were waiting for that so long, but there are tutorials about that. So maybe this is a waste of time. because I'm not gonna use that, right? So let's, unless I decide, no, I want to use this character, or I completely change my mind, which I think it will be very, very hard. So abandoned, I mean skept. We are going to a low retro style at once. Yeah, so we'll do that for the retro style, so not for this. So we completed, folks, this huge development, and now all this will still will be required for the other rig, because it requires to be organic. I'll show what I have. So basically it is here, Dorothy Boolean mount, yeah, but this is not okay. So this is the new version of Dorothy. You can see what I did to the mesh. So it's completely the hair is still the same. I've simplified the eyes, but yeah, this is an ongoing process. The hands, I need to update them. But nearly everything I've made, and I'm still working on the solution for low poly. I'm not sure that everything here will deform well, but in principle that should be. And you see, I already have, I'm creating the lips here. So this is the Boolean solution with the geometry nodes, but I'm not gonna, yes, I deleted what I had before, unfortunately, maybe, but the geometry node is still there. I just have to remake the lips with shape keys probably. So the test, the previous version was, the test wasn't completed. If I go here, basically we can, unfortunately I cannot test here on this file. I've started, accidentally saved on top of it. So but the idea is this: we first create there's a Boolean hole there that I have to rework on, right? It will deform with the lips, which has its own mesh. So right now this is old, right? And then, so the first that will create the hole of the mouth, difference there you see. So mesh Boolean, by the material, maybe this is not necessary, I'm not sure. So the lip, the hole, the lips, they have a material, doesn't need to be the same. Then here what happens, yeah, this is not being used, this extrusion, wow, there's some, no, this is not being used, so it goes straight here. So join with the lips, so that is what it's supposed to have. And then this was another experiment that I'm doing, try to make organic lips procedural, but no, never mind. This will be, I was studying geometry nodes a little. I've never studied that, and apparently this is not trivial. If that, it doesn't worth it. So there's a limitation currently in geometry nodes that we cannot edit the procedurally output mesh directly. So this is very, very limiting. I hope, because if we could, I would be able to edit the mesh that is generated from the Boolean. Yeah, so basically it will give more possibilities. So basically my tests indicated that it was also because my style is the shading will be stylized here. It will prevent that if it looks too weird. If I am not able to solve this in the worst case scenario, then I just have to re-implement here the universal sonic mouth rig with my additional features, adapted features. So and I will try to do it with much less mesh. It should be even simpler, but I hope not to be required to do that, because not because that other solution is bad, but that is a deform rig solution, and it takes a lot to make it look good in a character in the way I want. And so and I need to create this melt rig for like 20 characters in the end, so I don't want to have to be doing this. Like, for me, it's like that version of the character is like, for me, if I were to do a very cool short feature, long feature film, actually, something like that, that requires a lot of quality. Not that this one doesn't require, but yeah, it will be more. This will be more modest solution to start with. It's much simpler. You see, it's just you just do that, and you have the lips and the whole moving along the face, right? The lower face, the muzzle, and you don't need to deform the whole muzzle. You don't. It's a cool thing. And the tutorials that they show online about it, they are cool, but they don't create, they don't know how to, they don't propose volume generation for the lips. So there's no lips, basically. What you have is a line or a hole, and that's it. It's plain, it's uninteresting. Well, it's cool for 2D looking characters, but if you want, like I want, right, lips shapes, then how do you create? So this is why I was playing with these extrusions here, but this is not only very limited, my knowledge is very limited, but also geometry nodes is not so favorable to do that, and unless someone proves me wrong. I believe it's possible, but then you'll have to identify all the time the mesh, the selections that you want to shape, and if you have a shape key, if you can select manually the mesh, each vertex, then you go directly to what you want, right? So it's the advantage of artistic knowledge, right? Artistic techniques, instead of something more more geometrical, in the sense of having to shape everything through calculations, right? I prefer in that sense the artistic calculation, right, which is geometric, but it is more intuitive, right? So it is if there is good solution for that I find, or that are developed later for geometry nodes, then that will be really great, and then might be a reason for me to learn. But otherwise, if it stays, and making the connection, I believe, between the procedural and the right, the shapeability, artistic, sculptural, yeah, making this merge possible with some interactive how do you call it, recursivity, maybe, that loops back. So you generate mesh, and you can edit the only the generated, and that will be crazy, right? That will be the top tier, I think, development for geometry nodes. I've heard some people are talking about that. I barely understood anything, but it looks like that it would be possible in the future. So maybe it's not that far away. So that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. You survived. No one is watching this right now, I guess. But I can actually check. Yeah, apparently no one. So we finished this thing. Now we are towards a complete new state of production. So I'll have to start working on this file, and I have to decide how I'll approach these streamings for the low poly universe. So I'll be planning this for tomorrow and the rest of the week. Thanks for watching, folks. See you tomorrow another time. On the week I'm trying to stream every day. This is the Forge thing, the name of this live streaming here. Take care, happy blending, and see you another day maybe. See ya, folks.